So how was your overall experience with this virtual event that you did today?
Good, excellent. I think it reiterates the thought that nothing stops, nothing can stop. So we continue work as usual. We continue doing more work than usual, even if it is COVID or even if it is work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the idea of recognizing young women talent, because women need more encouragement, whatever said and done, because they go through so many phases of life. Every stage is a distraction for them, every stage is a pullback, every
Mm-hmm.
stage is constantly reminding them, boss, you need to focus on something else also while you are working. So if
Mm-hmm.
we keep encouraging them, I think we'll have a larger set of population available to us, a larger set of successful women in India. I think all of us should drive that agenda somewhere, for the country and for the womanhood together. That's my thought. So I passionately drive a lot of gender diversity
Mm-hmm.
initiatives. So that's where it comes naturally, probably when I start talking.
All
Yeah.
right. That's great to hear all those things. Okay. All right. So any specific thing that you wanted to recommend that being as an L&D that can be driven is specifically related to the certain things, specifically into this pandemic situation where you think that this could again drive the complete company culture and things like that?
Yeah, in fact, COVID is or work from home, forced work from home has taught us that we can actually work as normal or better being in our comforts of the home. And I think I don't want to reiterate what people have been at large talking about it. But for long, HR has been trying to drive the concept of work from home. And this disruption is made it realistic, made it live. So it's good for us. Uh, that should also change the way we look at L&D initiatives. If you're talking about cost effective initiatives, we should get back to more audios and videos now that the digital disruption is there. We should look at using animations, we should look at using gamifications, we should look at using case study based things. So there are a lot many ways that we can actually leverage for driving L&D, and nothing should stop. In fact, one of the participants today also talked about augmented reality and how she's using it and how she's bringing the best from it. So, some of them need some kind of an investment, but the investment is not lost. The investment is worthwhile. The investment is required. The investment gives you the larger platform and the reach. So, no investment in L&D is actually wasted ever. So any investment we do, we can. There are a lot of sites available to do animations, to convert your content into videos. So we should try and explore those things. We need to reduce from a day-long or 4-day training sessions to 2-hour training sessions, because it's difficult to do digital drive to get the impact and the focus. So those changes are required, are pushing us to bring those changes into the L&D fraternity as such.
Thanks for your wonderful thoughts. A lot of learning for me also into this. Okay. All right. So any suggestions, any feedback that you wanted to give to the HR Success Talk Forum, that how exactly we happen to move ahead with the entire event, the drive, each and everything?
Good. I think you guys have really put a lot of effort, and that's visible when an event goes smoothly, and you've been able to engage each one of us. Not only the jury, I think even the participants you've been engaging very well, and that talks about the intense planning and organizing and handholding that went behind the scenes. So kudos to the HR success team to really drive that across. The thought of connecting, like I said in the first thing, women is very good. Leverage the platform, recognize more and more, and more success to the team of HR Success Talk.
Thanks a lot for all your appreciation and thanks for your time. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great day.
Thank, thank you, Pratya.
Bye.
Bye.
So how was your overall
Okay.
experience hosting this, like being a part
I
of
think
this?
it was good. There were some people who were really, really good.
Mhm. Okay, so you
A
like
couple of them
representation.
stood out. 3, 4 of them stood out. One kind of stood out completely.
Okay, that's great to know. I've been following your post since long now, and it looks really great to see you in person for the first time. and everything. Okay, so let's come back to the main topic. That what do you think there are some like easy or the inexpensive techniques that the HR and L&D leaders can put to use today, specifically after COVID?
You went to the second question first.
Yeah, right. Or anything you want to pick it up. I am fine with anything.
So I'd actually put down my thoughts
Mhm.
in the same sequence. So let's go through it in the way it is. So your first question was, how are you personally responding to the crisis?
Right.
Right. I think I'm enjoying myself. I'll tell you the reason. See, initially we thought it was a 21-day lockout,
Mhm.
isn't it? It would be over soon. Nobody realized that the pandemic would go on for such a long time. And when it got extended, the realities of work from home, given the circumstances, dawned in all our minds. And nobody was ready for a long haul. I think it was a shock, universal shock, kind of. And the fact that there were no support services added to the misery in terms of your driver is not there, your maid is not there. And we don't have full-time maids and full-time drivers who stay with us. So the one maid that used to come stopped coming, and the one driver couldn't come. Everybody went off to their places. Somewhere in Bengal one went, and one went to some place in Rajasthan. Great, but the family came together, so we all shared the household work, so there was no issue. End of 1 month, I think the space constraints started. You open any door, you would see somebody on the phone.
That's true.
Even a small house or a big house. I mean, in smaller houses, you would see two people in the same room. In bigger houses, you would probably see one person closeted in a room, talking away to glory through the day, starting at 8 a.m. and never ending. So by end of month 2, that is, I think, end of April perhaps, or middle of May, we were better prepared, having adjusted to the situation. And we were able to focus more on office work, leaving by which time the maid had started coming in. End of month 3, now we realize that the long-term continuance of the remote working is here to stay for a long, long time. We don't know how long that long is. The mind has accepted it now. We made all the adjustments in the house because there is nobody coming in. So you can put your furniture anywhere you want so that everybody is comfortable. I mean, in our house, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are working from home. Me, my 2 daughters and my son-in-law. The only person who is looking after us is my wife.
Okay.
And of course, a maid that comes in. We don't have a cook. Because we're South Indians. Nobody here can make South Indian food as good as we make. Quality time, I think, has been the best with the family so far. Hardly any time in the last 30, 35 years that I've been married have I spent so much of time at home with people at home, and specifically the 2 dogs. They may also be wondering what so many people are doing at home because they're not used to seeing anybody for 12 hours in a day. So cooking experiments, connecting with the extended family. My parents live in Bangalore. Movies, watching series, games, everything that was inside the trunks came out. So I think it's been a good phase so far. Why I say I am very happy with this that is happening, because I at this point in time decided to take a break from work. So I left my last job and I'm on a break. So you might ask me, what am I doing? So COVID has provided me the opportunity to make a difference to people's lives. That has always been my purpose in life. I want to make a difference, particularly to the student community. So after 34 years, COVID gave me the opportunity to take a longish break. That break is almost about a month and a half now, probably continue for another 1 or 2 months. I've touched the lives of about 500 students during the course of the last 45, 50 days, listening to their issues, because all of a sudden everybody got into a state of panic and the anxiety started affecting the minds of students, particularly the ones that are coming out into the market this year and the ones that are trying to get into the higher education institutes this month. So I've taught, I've lectured, I've volunteered, A lot of people talk about migrant workers. We've also done our bit in terms of providing them transportation and food. We are not the Sonu Sood types, who want to make it to the first page or second page or third page. पीछे रह के कर रहे हैं. And staying in Delhi, I think you are also in Delhi.
Right, I am also in Delhi.
I'm in Gurgaon, and Delhi-Gurgaon border. You know what happened in the first 3-4 weeks of the lockdown. So I've been advising a few universities and institutions on the future of education, how it will be in terms of being blended. My younger daughter is a designer, so I had to set up her entity, the digital initiative that she wanted. Researched a lot on COVID, post-COVID, what the chief people officer and HR people need to do going forward, because HR people also are equally anxious. It's not that they are of a different category of human beings. No. Despite whatever is going on in their mind, they need to make sure that everybody else is. Caught up on reading. I'm writing a lot on social media. You've seen that for the last 1.5 months, I guess. My elder daughter also stays with us. She's in the family way. So now I'm playing grandfather designate.
Okay.
So ask for it, and I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've collated the content for my book that I'll write in the next 1 or 2 years. Focused on mental wellness and physical well-being. So I haven't put on a single kg weight in the last 126 days of the lockdown. So I think I would have done justice to what I'm doing by end of August or September, and then probably come back to corporate life towards the last quarter of this year. So that's what is going on so far. To answer your next question, how do we see HR and corporate learning changing? See, we've all found better ways of doing things. Overnight, we were pushed to remote working. The world's largest remote working experiment has been a huge success. So even in organizations where the HR or the CEO did not even think about work from home, today that is the reality. In majority of the sectors, forget about manufacturing, it cannot happen there. And you can't cook work from home for somebody else. You will cook for yourself. Right. You can't manufacture work from home. You have to get to the factory. So basically the service sector and the IT sector, work from home is possible. So from an HR perspective, talent management, workplace, workforce, work itself, leadership, management, all the techniques will change in the years to come. So whatever books have been written in the past, I think we'll all have a sequel now after COVID. So I'm sure all the writers are putting their heads together to make sure that the sequel of the book is released, trying to tell people what to do after COVID. Because in today's context, everybody is a novice or everybody is an expert. We're at two extremes. If you listen to people on calls, if you listen to people on television today, the only business that is doing fine is giving gyan.
That's true.
Isn't it?
I did so many webinars, and except this, I could not.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, I am very choosy in accepting webinars because you keep hearing the same new normal, new normal, new normal. I call it the new abnormal. Someday it will go back to normal. Maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line, we'll be having a good laugh. 5 years down the line, Arey, COVID ka time humne bhi dekha tha. Good story to tell our children and grandchildren, isn't it? See, life after COVID is not about changing people. It's changing how we work and altering the priorities of self and organization. So my view is, let's not count the days. Let's make the days count. So let's not try wasting time thinking of what will happen. Whatever is there, use it. And 3 years down the line, we'll be happy that we made use of it. So work from home is not the preferred model, at least in India in today's context, because there are a number of things. One is children are getting educated along with everybody at home. So there is a lack of equipment. And we've done a lot of things trying to provide equipment for the underprivileged classes. I've donated a lot of funds. We've also crowdfunded a lot of money to be able to sustain the learning of these kids who don't have access to systems. So home and work boundaries are blurred. We all know that. Just keep on working, working, working. Now there is homework, there is office work, and there is work in between. So balancing these three for the near foreseeable future is going to be the main thing. In my view, particularly in India, work from home or remote working will not see the same traction, as our culture is very, very relationship and social connectivity based. That's my view. So blended model will work better, whether it is training, whether it is learning, whether it is HR. Now, I say this because the psychological impact of work from home is not yet visible to anybody else. So flexible work pattern will call for flexible leadership skills, self-help and remote now, followed by self-help and blended will be the way forward for HR and learning in simple terms. Even today it is self-help because there's a lot of digitization that's happening in HR. Learning has become self-help because of the number of programs that are available online, many of them free of cost. But going forward, everybody will start monetizing this. All the Udemy's and the Coursera's that are giving courses free in today's context will start charging maybe another 3, 4, 5 months. Even Twitter is thinking of charging. That was the news yesterday. So blended will be the format, whether it is universities, whether it is organizations, but most of it will be self-help. You will get the leads. You have to decide how fast you can learn. I always say at your place, at your pace. So that is what is going to happen in the future. Progressive thinking will start coming in. Experimentation and flexibility will be the new mantras. Our managers also have to change their mindset because we are used to seeing people in front of us and think that they are productive. So we also need to have the mindset that even if they are working at home, despite all the distractions at home, they're still equally productive, if not more.
That's true.
Isn't it? So leaders will need to lead with a lot of humility and more than humility, humanity. And what are the skills that will be required? One is trust. Second is empowerment. घर से काम कर रहा है बंदा या बंदी. वो trust होना चाहिए. That flexibility should be given. You can't be saying, sit in front of the camera for 8 hours. I want to see you while you're working. It won't. It won't happen. It should not happen. That is not the right way of doing things. I mean, today we have been on calls. I mean, thankfully, we got a 15-minute break for khana. 15 minutes is more than sufficient. Give those 15-minute breaks every 2 hours. People need to stretch. Can't be sitting on a chair and in a table without any human connection for the whole day. You need to go up, meet your kids, meet your grandkids, meet your wife, meet somebody. Say hi to somebody who's going on the road as well, isn't it? So work front, workforce front, and workplace front. These are the three things. And the rules of the game will be different. So as managers, as HR guys, as L&D guys, we will also have to learn to play on these three playgrounds. One is the physical playground, wherein people want to come to office. One is the remote, where people would like to work from home. And the third is a blended version, because there are people who would like to work half-time from home and half-time from office. So change, creativity, and hope. These are the three things which HR leaders, L&D leaders, and general leaders need to execute in the foreseeable future. 5 saal baad, maybe we will all be back to normal. We never know. But in today's context, I guess this is what is my view of HR, L&D, and management in general.